Hey video game animation fans! So I've really wanted to make a video version of the newsletter I send out to patrons every month or so. Particularly this bit of the newsletter I like to call AAA games, which means games with awesome art and animation. I tend to gravitate towards indie games and things you may not have heard of, rather than actual big production AAA games. But that's not to say that big productions won't be in the list. I'd love to make these into videos as often as I can, so that these awesome gems can be seen by more people and thus be more successful, drive up the demand for beautiful looking things, and hopefully make everything better and more accessible for everyone in all sorts of ways. So here's my top 10 AAA games I've found in the last few months. Deaths of Peck. This is a game that's being animated by a friend of mine, Juanpe Arroyo, who works at the Line Studio in London. He's animated on shows like Gumball, and he's now taken his hand to game design, animating every single frame of this little guy called Peck, who is immortal. The only way to succeed is to die. He's painstakingly crafted this lovely movement, such as Peck moving around with his arms when he's cut in half. This nice turning animation is absolutely wonderful. It's currently on Steam, so go and wishlist it. Fortune and Glory. This is currently being funded on Kickstarter and has already blown its target out of the water, being made by fellow YouTube channel Video Game Storytime. It's a charming callback to those retro games on the Game Boy Color, and it's actually being produced, if I'm not mistaken, as a physical cart you can own. But go and check out the Kickstarter page being run by a friend of mine, Matthew Lofhagen. Into the Unwell. This is a wacky looking 3D action platformer with some very lovely looking motion and 2D style visual effects over the action. I like this motion blur over the flat colouring to give this a really unique style, and man, there's some great personality on display here. This is also on Steam, ready to wishlist. Scarlet Skips. Okay, this looks like a fun one. This is by Yerk Games and animated by Yerk. The exaggerated animation style makes me think of Genndy Tartakovsky and Hotel Transylvania. I love that it's just true to itself and is going all in on body physics. The art style's cute and clean, and it's one of those things where the simplest of ideas can be executed in such an interesting way that it just hooks you in. The way the expressions change as you progress is really sweet. Looking forward to this one. Ready to wishlist on Steam.
Hello. We're House.
Big Walk. This is being made by House, the guys who did Untitled Goose Game. I'm loving the look of this so far. It looks to be a sort of collaborative experience, working together with others online, trying to capture that sense of just meeting people on a little adventure. I'm really loving the simple art style, the way these beaks just inflate with speech, that's really nice. And the way they do this little chog and general movement gives this a quirky energy. I get the feeling that the movement is part algorithm based, limbs and body parts sort of reacting automatically to movement in a sense. Kind of how Bud moved in Grow Home. Keep an eye on this one. Ready to wishlist. Felt That Boxing. Whoa, okay, so this looks really interesting. I don't really keep up all that much with Unreal stuff at the moment, there's just too much to keep an eye on. But I think this is proper physics based. The way your character moves is incredibly authentic to the way hand puppets would move. Just look at that erratic movement, like someone's controlling them to be exaggerated, which itself feels different to just animating something that's being exaggerated. I honestly don't know how this will work to make it look, and more importantly feel, like it's a puppet. In the way that Cuphead was a playable 1930s cartoon, this is literally going to be a playable hand puppet. Keep a bloody good eye on this. Wishlist on Steam. Memories in Orbit. This is currently out and is yet another good looking Metroidvania game with stylish art. Man, we are eating well, us Metroidvania fans. It feels like every month there's some really good looking new entry that's announced or released. I'm enjoying this pencil shaded effect for the textures, and it's got this really interesting colour palette. Go and grab it now. Shadow of Glenwood Grove. This isn't on Steam yet and is currently still in its alpha stages of testing, being made by Aaron Victor, but just looking at this Spider-Verse style limited animation for the 3D character is really impressive. I really want to see this do well. I want to see more interesting stuff like this get out there and make splashes. You can follow Aaron on Twitter. Crisis Island. Another retro throwback being worked on by another fellow YouTuber, Webster. This is styled after old school top-down shooters with authentic use of pixel art for sprites, great effects, charming animations, good feel to the gameplay and decent challenge level, and it's 2-player. Grab it on Steam when it comes out. And this last one is Fresco, a fantastic looking action-adventure puzzle game where you switch between third person and 2D, similar to things like Link Between Worlds and that other game I can't quite remember right now, but I'm sure I can find footage of it. No release date set yet, but it's wishlistable on Steam. I want to do more of these, so if you know of any AAA games, games with awesome art and animation that are coming up, chuck them in the comments. I post these AAA games to patrons first in newsletters, and then I'll round up later on like this in a video. Catch you later.